Hey everyone, welcome to the Movie Throne. I'm your host, the one and only King freaking Kansas. And look, is this the fourth? No, it's the third week.
Fourth.
He's been here.
Fourth episode in a row.
Fourth episode. He has a streak going on. It's the Admiral in the flesh, guys. Enjoy the Admiral because his time is precious. He is so busy. This poor man. I'm lucky I dragged him out so he can talk to all you guys. But I'm thankful because we're here to discuss something that I'm not really too familiar of. This guy, he knows it like the back of his hand. The King has no damn clue. Anyways,
doing better, King. You're doing.
It's okay. I'm learning, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not a diehard fan, but you guys probably know what the hell's the King talking about. I'm talking about, we're here to talk about Star Wars Andor. In this particular case, this week, it's episode 7 to 9. You guys all know, if you watched us last week, the King wasn't too impressed. The King was ready to go to bed. But I can tell you honestly, this week, the King actually got out of bed and got woken up.
I told you, King, it was coming.
I'm telling, the Admiral called it. He called it. Go watch our last. You'll see exactly what we're talking about, guys. Like last week, I'm gonna talk a little bit at the beginning because I don't know people's names. I'm too old. Beard gets older and gray. King forgets names. All I'm gonna say is that this week woke the King out of his bed. Got what I wanted. So much action. The stakes were high, Admiral.
Very much.
My God, I felt panicked. I was on the edge of my seat, and I'm going to call it right now. I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but King's watched a lot of TV, guys, okay? He's watched, somewhat a decent amount of Star Wars and TV shows. I would have to say that what I watched, the 3 episodes that dropped this week for Andor, was probably the best TV or television I've seen in the last 10 years.
Wow.
Well written, well executed, and I was ready to watch besides Cobra Kai.
Here we go.
I'm going to go back to that. But no, for 50-something minutes each episode, whatever they were, it felt like 10 minutes. And I was glued to my seat. I was anxious. I was worried about everybody. And the ending was phenomenal. Okay, Admiral.
Yes, sir.
King's going to shut up. He's going to let a real true Star Wars fan who knows what he's talking about tell you guys, did he like it? Well, obviously he did, because the King liked it. He probably liked it. He'll tell you his feelings, his thoughts on the episodes for this week of Andor. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, like I said, I really felt that things were going to hit the fan this week.
Sit back a little bit too. Oh, yeah.
There we go. Now I can see.
King is relaxed. Yeah.
Sit back in the throne.
Instead of coming right to the screen like I'm going to choke you guys,
exactly.
I got to sit back and relax.
Yes.
King, calm down.
Calm down, King.
Yeah,
you had your time.
Oh, yeah.
You had your time.
That's it. You speak, Admiral. Speak. The King will sit back and relax.
We're like this all the time.
Because
even
honest to God,
yeah.
There's not much for me to say.
No, there isn't. You said enough.
I'll have my French vanilla, and I'll be quiet.
Here we go. So, like I thought last week, I said, okay, they're gonna do another time jump. They did. 1 year later, they went to 2 BBY, right?
Yep.
So for everyone, if you're just tuning in, if you haven't seen the previous reviews, if you don't know what BBY means, it means Before the Battle of Yavin.
Mm-hmm.
That's from a Star Wars A New Hope from 1978.
Wow.
And that's where Luke Skywalker flies in the X-Wing and blows up the Death Star with the Wonder Shot. Right?
There you go.
So that's the Battle of Yavin. So this is now 2 years before that happened.
And you called it, Admiral. I'm not going to deny that. Mm-hmm.
Gorman is the center of attention in the universe right now throughout the Senate.
And boy, is it ever.
And we see it all start to come to the surface now.
Mm-hmm.
I still think there's going to be more decimation on Gorman, but we saw the revolt. We saw the Empire fight back.
Really? So you say we're going to get more of what we saw? Are you kidding me?
I think so. I think we're going to see.
I can't wait.
They're going to be mining that stuff out of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
I think you're right.
The calcite, the
material, whatever the material
is.
It is.
They need it to. They say they need it for energy, but they need it to coat the reactor in the Death Star.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, because they're building the Death Star, folks, that's what's going on. This isn't about energy.
Yeah, because they said they had the drilling tools or whatever that was seen on the planet. So they're going to do some drilling.
There's a lot of talk about that in those episodes, too. You hear it from the Gorman Rebels.
Yep.
From Rylands. He knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows Enza knows what's going on. You know, so it's quite insane.
Was there anybody who survived that? Because I'm telling you, it looked like everybody got killed. They were rounded up in that little circle thing, that circle of the square, what do you want to call it there? They were blockade and everybody was getting thing. I'm telling you, it had some scenes and a half, man. Like, it was cool.
There's some foreshadowing. Like, okay, I think there, you know, Rylance might survive. His daughter might survive. I know the son died. You saw him die.
He bit the bullet.
That's
sad. That was sad.
We don't know how many people have died. We'll get probably a better idea in the time jump.
I think the next week's episodes will tell you the casualties of war.
So we see that, but we also see some things too with Dedra and with Cyril.
Oh, how serious did that get? That got heated very quickly, guys.
Yeah, Cyril kind of catches on to what's going on here, right? And Dedra still won't come clean fully.
No.
And he chokes her out, literally grabs her by the throat. And
I couldn't believe that.
You could see he was
how
all
angry
about,
he was.
See, he was all about, getting to the insurgents on Gorman. And that's where it ended for him.
Yeah.
But there was a master plan behind everything that's going on. And he got really irritated about that.
He was ticked off, guys.
He was really pissed.
Like, I'm surprised he didn't snap her neck.
Yeah, it was close.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to kill her. And then he's like, okay, he let her go?
Yeah.
But even then, did you notice, Admiral? She still was concerned about him being caught in the crossfire down low.
Because
that was
she cares.
She
cares. She's not just cold, guys. She does care.
Admiral, and she comes across as a cold-hearted and I know a lot of cold-hearted people in my life.
It's the imperial conditioning, right? It's the things.
It's like, right? And then, oh my God.
But you see what I really liked about the dynamics between these characters is you see that they're now starting to struggle with their humanity.
Conflict. There's a conflict.
Ultimately, Cyril dies, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: he gets shot in the head.
And boy, did he ever get shot!
Yeah, with a laser.
Oh yeah,
and he's done. But you could see that he was really at conflict. He was really starting to. His humanity was attacking him, and then at the end, you see Dedra in the room. After everything goes down, and she starts shaking, and she starts like
trembling. Yeah.
She's fighting off her crying. She's fighting off that those emotions, right?
The reality of what she did.
So what's going to happen with her now?
Yeah, tell me, because
I almost feel like she's going to
lose
like a saboteur. Like she's going to turn away from the Empire. I almost feel like she's going to revolt.
Are you saying that because of what happened with this whole thing that she initiated?
Yes.
Or is she going to find out that her boyfriend, or whatever you want to call him, is dead?
She might take her own life, possibly.
Maybe. Or sacrifice herself.
Or it could be, the Empire might see some things in Gorman as a failure because of what happened in the Senate, because of certain things that got out. She might end up. Sorry, I got an itchy nose, guys.
It's okay, don't worry about
it. She might end up. Maybe we'll see Vader at some point. Maybe we'll see the Emperor. She might be made an example of.
That'd be cool, man.
Or somebody from the ISB, I think, is going to be made example of very shortly. I think we're going to see in the next set, which has the finale.
That's it.
I think Vader's coming, guys. I do think we're at least going to see Vader. I'm hoping that we're going to see the Emperor too. I really have been hoping.
That'll be nice.
Out of the 3 episodes, I really liked the 9th episode the best with the Senate. It was so intense.
Oh, it was.
Because it built right away. You could see Mon Mothma, she's struggling to do the right thing, and she's afraid, right?
For her life, because
she's scared for her life.
I think she realized, Admiral, how serious what they're doing is.
Yeah.
It reached its boiling point.
Yeah, and it was now is the time right now where we need to come out of the shadows, and I have to take a stand and say something. Or else nobody ever will, because you see how corrupt the Senate is.
Play her hand. You actually see her play her hand in this one.
And it's amazing. And it's really funny. The show is called Andor, and it's about Cassian Andor. We haven't even talked about Cassian Andor.
Oh my God, how much of a heartbreak that was in episode 9. Yeah. That's why I didn't want to tell the Admiral.
I called it though.
She said it. But
I said Bix is either gonna die or they're gonna split up.
Yeah.
Because he's being held back, right?
Yep.
So,
because he told me, I was preparing myself for that, because I go, man, this is playing how the Admiral's saying. This is happening, and I'm like, you're checking off the boxes that the Admiral listed last week. You go, King. And then once they came to that part, I go, Don't tell me. It was just heartbreaking the way it went down.
Yeah.
She didn't have the courage to confront
She made
him.
a video, folks. We call that a Dear John letter. But in the Star Wars universe...
We call that being a chicken.
Yeah, it's a Dear John video.
Mm-hmm.
We call it a Dear John letter in real life, but it's a Dear John video.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, and he gets desperate. He's running. He goes back to, the base on Yavin.
The bunker, right?
Yeah, the base on Yavin. Yeah. When did the transports leave? Where'd they go? Oh, they left this morning. He was too late. She's gone.
Yeah,
right?
It was sad. It was heartbreaking for him, but it was a necessary evil to get him set on the course that he wanted. Well, they need him to be on.
He needs to just focus on the rebellion now.
Yeah,
and be a leader.
I don't think he's going to focus. Well, he will, because
eventually he will.
He will.
He gets a little darker, actually, his character.
Does he?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, he becomes a little darker, but he's for the rebellion. But just like his actions, he's known for being like a soldier.
Okay,
I mean?
Okay. So he gets his hands a little more dirty than he should, in a sense. Because he has he feels like he has a lot.
He's already not afraid to cross certain lines.
No, man.
Right?
Hey, you seen what he did to get the senator out? What he did? Shot that girl in the head. Boom. See you later.
He'll just do it.
Who's next?
But yeah, so it was like, for me,
episode 9. You said
I really loved the Senate scenes.
Yeah,
where you see they're in session. I love the speech. I love seeing what's going on with the ISB in the background. How they're trying to control and cut the transmission because they don't want. They want to continue with the imperial propaganda.
That's right, and not show the feed or show the truth to many planets. It's going to get broadcast to.
And it got out, and what she said got out, and I think what she said is going to spur more people to join the rebellion. And now the episode was called "Welcome to the Rebellion," right? The
there you go.
Episode. So, you get to see the base that's in A New Hope on Yavin 4. And you can see it, and it's good continuity. Looks just like the old 1978 movie, maybe a little modernized, but looks pretty good.
Same kind of feel, right? Along the same flow of fluidity,
minus the 70s haircuts.
So, Admiral, since you're the Star Wars guy, did it live up to your expectations as a Star Wars fan?
Yeah.
True Star Wars fan.
Yeah, for sure. This definitely was the best set of 3.
Yes, it was. Best of the season.
Honestly, out of the whole series so far, I like these 3 episodes out of both seasons.
Me too.
That's a big ask. It's a big say because last year was a great season.
It was good.
But these 3 episodes were really good. And as a Star Wars fan, for me, I loved seeing the interaction in the Senate. I love seeing how the corruption is. I liked seeing things that were referred to in past movies, past shows.
References, yeah.
You see it played out, right? So I enjoyed that. For me, it was great.
It was good, buddy. Like, honest to God truth, for a guy who's not a Star Wars fan, just a casual Star Wars fan, guys, I enjoyed it. I was really curious what the Admiral, because he's Mr. Star Wars, okay? And for him to say that he liked it, I'm good. At least I know we're on the same page on that level.
I loved it, honestly. I loved it. I loved those 3 episodes.
It was so good. Like, every episode was good. It just got better. It was like 7 was good. 8 was incredible. 9 was fantastic.
Yeah, it just... predictions?
Yes. What's going to happen in the final 3?
I think Luthen's going to die, guys.
Yeah, he has to die. Someone big has to die.
Vader might kill him, guys. Vader.
You know what? I never thought of that.
Yeah. Vader might find out who Axis is and may kill him, right? Or something else will happen. He's gonna die somehow.
He'll get discovered where he has that storefront selling those relics or whatever it is. Someone's gonna go there and discover the truth, and that's gonna lead to him. And then
we're gonna see.
How about the senator's husband she left behind? What's gonna go on with him? Because I was wondering. I go, you disappeared, great, but how about your kid? Kids? Do they have kids or kid? I don't even know.
She has the daughter.
Yeah.
Who's
what happened
married
about her
to,
daughter and her husband?
Yeah, I think we're going to see the reemergence of the father-in-law in some way, shape, or form.
The other guy his daughter family married him to.
I can't remember.
Don't
what
ask
his
me
name
the
is
names,
right now, guys. He hasn't been in it for 6 episodes now, so I forgot his name.
Yeah.
I know I love Star Wars, but I forgot the name. Okay, the Admiral has a
Admiral. You do not have to apologize. You do not have to apologize, my friend.
We make mistakes here and there.
It's not making mistakes. You can forget.
That's it.
Okay, we're old.
It's not age, okay?
Well, I'm old. This guy's not.
Well, I know you're great.
It's okay. I'll forget for the both of us. How's that?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I'm calling you gray. I'm all shaved up here, guys. You probably he's gray, I'm white. So there you go. Whiter than white. Santa Claus. But yeah.
And we're not insane, so there you go.
Well,
so we're
not
good.
Today anyway.
No, we're just a little loopy.
Yeah,
that's all.
That's all right.
When you drink a little bit of some coffee there and stuff like that, watch the cool 3 episodes of Star Wars that you never thought you ever watch in your life, and you did, you're happy.
Yeah, definitely we're going to see something big coming.
Okay.
They're going to have a grand battle. There's going to be something.
One more big battle we're expecting?
I think we're going to see some spaceships.
Okay.
At some point.
Probably
over Gorman. I think the rebels are going to come, and I think they're going to probably try to protect Gorman because they're going to be exterminating the planet or trying to
because they're mining it pretty much, right?
And they want to try. They're going to try to move people out of the area and force relocate them.
Okay.
But force relocate them
means
like literally like psh, 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 psh.
Done.
There's a genocide going
Extermination.
on. Yeah. So I think we're going to see. The rebels from Yavin 4 are going to load up the ships, and they might take a fly over there. And there might be a space battle and a little bit of a ground battle over there in Gorman.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, I hope I'm not. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Prediction, Admiral. You can be wrong or as right as you want. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. There has to be some sort of battle in Gorman. I think so. Yeah.
There'll be a big battle of Gorman left. Do you think we're going to see the early stages of them building the Death Star?
This was the Admiral's next point. So I think we might see Galen Erso come in.
Yeah.
For those of you who have seen Rogue One, okay, Galen Erso, played by Mads Mikkelsen, he's the father of Jyn Erso.
Okay.
At the beginning, Jyn was the main character, the girl, right?
Yep.
And you saw him at the beginning, where his wife gets killed.
Yes.
All this stuff. Galen designed the Death Star, and he built the Death Star.
Okay.
But Galen Erso built the Death Star with an intentional flaw in the reactor. Made it vulnerable on purpose so that it could be destroyed.
So it's kind of like a fail-safe switch, which they end up getting.
And
That's cool, man.
He did that. He built the Death Star to keep his family safe because he was such a brilliant scientist.
Yeah.
And he was Imperial at one point, but he wasn't Imperial.
I gotcha.
It's almost like a double agent, He wasn't really working for anybody, but morally for himself.
Yeah. He was more worried about his own family and their being safe and all that.
He did the wrong thing to make sure that everybody stayed safe, right?
I gotcha.
So
he bought time. Let's just say that.
And then he took off. He took off with them, and he hid on that planet that you see at the beginning of Rogue One there.
Yes.
And then, the director Krennic finds him. Right? And then they end up killing Lyra, and then Jyn hides it under the ground there, and Saw Gerrera picks her up later on.
There you go.
If you guys have seen it, right?
So, yeah, that's cool, man. Like, it's amazing how everything's coming to fruition. Like, we were always curious. We want to know, how is this going to lead up to Rogue One?
And they have to put Galen Erso in now.
So we're expecting a lot then, Admiral?
I think we're going to see a jump to BBY1 now.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to...
Do you think, though, Admiral, is it just going to be one jump, or every episode's going to be a jump in time?
How many are left?
3 episodes. So it's going to be 6 months, and then maybe a day before?
Maybe it'll be 6 months, and then 6 months.
Oh, to make it up? Or will they do 6 months, and then maybe a day before Rogue One? That leads up to it.
It could be, but remember... The Battle of Yavin happens. They're going to be in 2 BBY still. If they time jump, they'll time jump to 1.
Okay.
And then there'll still be 6 months.
That's if they cover it.
Yeah, and then there'll be 6 months later, and then if they do 6 months later. But if they time jump to 0 BBY, it doesn't mean the war's going to happen right away.
Okay.
It just happens in that year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So it'll take place even if it's not on camera. It's during that timeline.
It might take place in that in that year. Like I said, I think it's going to end.
Yep.
You see in Rogue One where Andor goes to Morlana at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
I think that's where the show's going to end.
Oh wow! I just wanted to tie up nice, and you know what? I just want it to end well. I don't know how they're going to top this week. Honest to God, truth, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm pretty sure there's something up their sleeve, and I'm just happy we got what you got. Because I'm telling you right now, Admiral, the king would have went to bed, and then you would have to wake him up to watch the finale. That's where I was headed towards until literally I'm watching it and it's like, whoa, where was this the whole time?
Yeah.
But it slapped the king a couple of times and it woke him up, which that's what the king needed.
Yeah.
And Admiral called it, though. That's what happened. That's why I'm not going to doubt this man. When it comes to Star Wars, whatever he says is the law. So anyways, guys, we're excited to see what's going to be next week. Admiral's excited. I'm glad for him because he's the Star Wars guy, so he's going to really appreciate. It's going to mean more to him than it does me. But at the same time, I'm enjoying him. And this is like must-see TV for the king. Yeah. So it better be must-see TV next week because, you know, you're going to hear about it from the king anyways.
Really hoping to see the Emperor, guys. Even in a hologram telling Darth Vader what he needs to do or something.
Yeah.
You know, and really hoping to see Vader.
Admiral, I just want to see that the last 30 seconds. If I see that the last 30 seconds at the end that we see Vader and the Emperor, I'll be happy. I don't know. Would you be happy if you just see him for like 30 seconds? Or do they have to make more than like a couple minutes cameo? Like, what would satisfy your thirst for the Emperor and Vader to show up? What would you be happy with? I'd love to see
a scene where Vader goes and bows before the Emperor on Coruscant in his throne room and receives directions
and marches right out and
he gets threatened by the Emperor. Deal with the rebels, or I'll deal with you. Cool. Something like that, or don't fail me. Like something,
something that you hear him speak instead of just
like he's agitated. I want to see him agitated.
Yeah, we don't want no Force ghosts or imagery on a computer screen.
And I want to see Vader.
We want to see him in the flesh.
And I would like to see Vader since the Andor is ending now. This is it for Andor, guys.
Yeah, it's it.
After that, it's Rogue One. Mm-hmm. I want to see Darth Vader in action in some way. In having an action sequence with maybe like doing something to an Imperial person who fails, like somebody from like the ISB who let something happen
with some anger.
You want to see like him not having a force battle, but like somebody paying the price for not like getting the job done.
Exactly, for failure.
Enforcement. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Show his power that, hey, don't let it happen again. Or hey, listen, there's going to be consequences if you guys don't do what you're supposed to.
They've been having. There's been so much foreshadowing about like fear throughout the whole thing, especially the Senate
show
stuff.
Some.
Yeah, exactly. And like you see the Senate sequences throughout the show, like that have been in the last 6 episodes. At one point they were trying to convince the senators to pass a specific bill to fight against the prison sentences,
and they won't do it.
Nobody wants to go against the Emperor, guys. They're all scared, right?
Yeah.
And it's referred to over and over again throughout the show.
Until episode number 9, when she actually did it.
Yeah, and now we need to see them. Now that she's called it out, she called out his name too, and it was broadcast everywhere.
Yeah. So this is going to be great. That's what I'm saying.
We need to see the Emperor now, guys, or Vader.
Besides Vader and the Emperor, do you think anybody else will pop up? Can anybody else pop up that we already seen on the big screen or the small screen? Is there anybody
they could do Wedge, who is one of the Wedge Antilles, who was one of the X-wing pilots in A New Hope.
Okay.
Dennis Lawson was the actor. He's actually Ewan McGregor's uncle in real life.
Oh wow.
Who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi in the prequel trilogy. But
anybody major besides those small
Wedge,
nobody.
Grand Moff Tarkin. They might be able to CGI him in.
Okay.
They did that in Rogue One because Peter Cushing is dead. He died a long time ago. Right? Long time ago. So they CGI'd him into Rogue One. He was a CGI character, right? He's one of the regional governors, a Moff, right?
Oh, Admiral. That's what I wanted to ask you. Remind me now. I was going to say droids. How about that robot, that Andor?
That's him. That's the guy from Rogue One.
That's the robot? Yeah. IG, whatever I'm going to call him. I'm thinking different.
IG, no, not IG-88.
No. That's from Mandalorian. That I know.
I can't remember, guys.
But that robot, he's going to play a big part?
Yes.
Okay.
He becomes Andor's partner, right? So if you see in Rogue One...
Okay, yeah, because right near the end, you can see him, he's talking.
He becomes Andor's co-pilot.
That's so cool, man.
That becomes like his buddy.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. That's why. So he'll have a big role to play.
That's Bix's replacement. Well, let's hope not, right?
You never know. Hey, doesn't matter what you're. If a good friend's a good friend, I guess. I don't know. Especially Star Wars.
Yeah.
Anything goes.
That's Bix's replacement. So
okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, guys. I think we rambled long enough. He's excited to see the next street. So is the king. I'm actually excited to see that. So thanks for watching this week's episode or video or review of Andor, episode 7 to 9. Next week, the finale episodes.
Finale, guys.
10, 11, and 12. We'll be here. You guys better be here. And like I always say, keep the comments clean. Like, share, and subscribe.
I want to see Vader. I want to see the Emperor. And that's what I'm going to say.
Okay. And we're going to leave it on that, guys. So, for myself, King Kansas, and the Admiral, be the hell good. Stay off my throne. Leave this man alone. May the Force be with you. I actually said it right this time.
Oh, my goodness.
You learn after a while. Just because, gray hairs, you start to remember once in a while. Anyways, whatever.
Once in a while.
Be the hell good. Check out our other reviews. And boy, did I ever do a few reviews. If you watched one of the last Admiral,
stop.
you didn't. I watched Nosferatu.
Nosferatu, guys. Nosferatu.
There, whatever. I said it properly in the video.
Okay.
King's old. Anyways, my God, like you gotta watch that video alone. I think it's the first video that I was a little bit on the negative side. Let's just say that.
It's a remake of the classic with Klaus Kinski, right?
You know what?
Black and white.
And Admiral, you know the King. He doesn't like watching the old. Like I like stuff upgraded.
Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe I might have liked the old one better. Anyways, I'm just gonna go check out the review. Check out everything else we drop on our YouTube channel, and stay tuned every day. Not every day. Every week moving forward, there'll be some new videos coming your way. So until next time, King's out of here, Admiral's out of here. Be the hell good, and we'll see you soon. Where? On YouTube land.
Ciao, YouTube.